Now at 4, holding on. The latest on a 3-year-old girl police say was beaten within an inch of her life.
And combining political power. We'll hear from Indiana Democrats teaming up with their Texas peers in a growing political battle.
And we've got spotty downpours and thunderstorms on radar right now and big heat ahead in the 7-day forecast. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News at 4.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. It is 4 o'clock and a little girl is in the hospital fighting to stay alive today. Her dad and his girlfriend now behind bars charged with abuse.
Joshua Cahigas and Melly Jackson are accused of child neglect. Our Marina Silva is on this story today, and she's actually looking into court documents and spoke with the 3-year-old's mom.
The 3-year-old little girl lived at these apartments with her dad and his girlfriend. Last Thursday, police found the little girl unconscious. She was rushed to Riley Hospital, where doctors found bruises all over her body. They also found a brain bleed. Doctors did emergency surgery to take out part of her skull. The little girl's mom, Lexis Burnett, says DCS called her on Friday.
It was unreal. I didn't really understand what was going on. I felt angry.
According to court documents, the father and girlfriend told police the girl fell when she picked up a 1-year-old and hit her head. The girlfriend said she got the bruises from playing outside. Joshua told police he used a belt and physical exercise to punish his daughter. While at Riley, doctors found the brain bleed, the bruises, and facial fractures. The girl's mom says her daughter has a lot of healing ahead.
She's progressing, and it's not even been a week since she was pronounced brain dead when she got here. But, I mean, it's still critical.
Lexis says now her mind is focused on the fight.
It's unforgivable. It's not real, you know? Like, I don't see what I see. I see my 3-year-old daughter up there fighting. I see she's really trying. She wants to be here. And
a fight she says she won't back down from. Reporting in Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
Well, I do have some news about her condition. Her mom told me today that while she's not out of the woods yet, she is doing better. She's awake, she's breathing, she's understanding questions. She even got to have some yogurt today. Okay. Little girl's a fighter.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's a big improvement from
Last
what police were describing. Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you, Marina.
Thank you.
According to the most recent numbers from the Department of Child Services, the agency investigated 261 child deaths in 2023. Also, it completed more than 104,000 assessments, which are different than cases, from July of 23 through June of last year. And each year, the Indiana Child Abuse and Neglect Hotline says it receives more than 200,000 calls.
And another big story we're following this afternoon, the battle over congressional redistricting is heating up across the country, and Indiana and Illinois, they're in the spotlight today.
That's right. Some Democratic state lawmakers from here in Indiana traveled up to Chicago to meet with their counterparts in Texas. Those state Democrats from Texas, they fled their state and have been in Illinois the last couple of weeks to avoid a vote to redraw their state's congressional districts. Now, this is part of a larger push to add Republican seats in Congress next year. And Indiana lawmakers could face a similar vote if Governor Mike Braun calls a special session.
Let me remind you that not one Republican legislator in the state of Indiana was calling for a special session before this guy showed up from Washington with his shoplifting strategy, okay? Not one. There was no conversation. And the Republican supermajority cannot shut up about how much they hate special sessions. They don't call for them. They don't like them. It's a Democrat idea. Special sessions are a form of disease. Now, some of them are caving in. Others are standing up.
That's State Representative Ed Delaney, longtime Democrat, not mincing words there. Texas Republicans are pushing for redistricting that could help Republicans take 5 more seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. So here's how our congressional map looks right now. If you take a look, you're going to see 7 of our 9 congressional districts are already Republican. The only 2 blue seats are District 7 here in Marion County and then District 1 up in Northwest Indiana. Now, if you redraw those, that could carve more conservative territory into these blue districts, which could give Republican candidates in those districts more support. But even some of Indiana's most conservative lawmakers are lining up to say, not right now. They are not on board. I talked with Representative Jim Lucas about it today.
It doesn't make sense for Indiana. We have a supermajority in both House and Senate. At State House, we have the governor's office. Every elected state position is held by Republicans. So there's no need to go back in and risk any gains that we may have, that we have made in the past decade plus, to risk picking up maybe one congressional seat.
He says it's just not worth the risk, and Representative Lucas isn't alone. We're going to hear who else is telling us they just don't see an appetite for this. These are Republican lawmakers saying this. That's coming up on 13 News at 5. Other news now. Tonight, Metro Police are searching for the person or people who stole more than 200 vases from grave sites at a southeast side cemetery.
Now, some of those vases are from the 1800s and irreplaceable. New Crown Cemetery learned of the missing vases yesterday after a family member called, and a police report shows 246 bronze vases worth $170,000 were stolen. Today, the cemetery showed us the damage left behind. 2 bronze headstone markers were also stolen. The cemetery says most of those markers are for veterans.
This is sacred ground where families have entrusted us, New Crown Cemetery, and the employees here to always be responsible and respectful of their loved ones in the final resting place. This is where they come to grieve and to visit, and to have this type of thing happen is devastating.
New Crown says they do not know when or how the thieves stole the vases. If you have a loved one buried there, you are asked to contact the cemetery.
All right, we're going to switch gears to weather here. Vantage point from outside the studio. Not a whole lot happening here. We see some clouds, but you can see almost off in the distance. I'm going to switch the camera. This is I-70 in Post Road, looking east, looking into this storm right there. Downpour of rain, very hit and miss, but has some big hit if you get caught underneath one of these. And the coverage will be maximized along and south of I-70 in what's been another highly humid day. I've drawn that line and shown you generally the movement on these cells south and southeast. Temperatures range from 79 Richmond, 86 Muncie, 87 here in Indy at this hour, with dew point temperatures near 70 degrees, actually been a little bit above 70. We're going to drop that muggy meter down a little bit tomorrow, and then we're going to ramp it up big time as we go into what could potentially be the hottest weekend of the summer so far. More on that ahead in the 7-day outlook.
All right, Sean, we'll see you then. Still ahead, a warning from local first responders about over-caffeinated kids. I'm Samantha Johnson. We'll tell you what they are seeing and what they want parents to know.
She was always there for me. Any questions I had after my surgery, she was there.
She lost 100 pounds after weight loss surgery. Why support was key to her success. Ahead in Checkup 13.